computer. All right, I'm pretty sure it's 0130 Zulu time. And welcome aboard, Mandela Airlines Flight 1216. Sorry about the focus. This little camera has to think sometimes. And anyway, glad you're here. If you're here to learn about the beauty, the joy, the wonders of the FAA Wings program, you are in the right place. Okay, so that's me and FAA safety team representative now for, I think, a little over a year, and I'm having a blast doing this. I've done over 20 seminars and webinars so far, and I'm just having a blast doing this on all different topics. So there's my stats. I'm on my 10th airplane, roughly in this order from top to bottom. My third T-18, which is this gorgeous girl right here. She just got new shoes over the weekend, new set of tires. And if you're ever up here in the Portland, Oregon area, I fly out of Twin Oaks Air Park and love to take you for a ride. All right, instructors, I know you're out there. Pay attention because this is good for you and your students and pilots because everybody benefits from the Wings program. So on the FAAsafety.gov website, there's a link that just gives you this advisory circular, AC 61-91. It's currently the J version. And let me tell you a few magical things about it, some of which you may know, some of which you may not know. So I extracted this from page 2. First of all, who may participate? Several people have said, well, I'm just a student pilot, I can't participate in Wings. Yes, you can. 5, applicability. A, who may participate? All pilots, including student pilots. B, incentive awards. Airmen who participate in the program, when you complete a phase of Wings, and this of course assumes you're already certificated because flight reviews don't mean anything to a student pilot yet. But when you complete any phase of Wings, it counts as a flight review. So if whether you're an instructor or not, even instructors have to have flight reviews. But if any of us complete a phase of Wings, guess what? You just completed an equivalent flight review. You don't need to go schedule the hour flight, hour ground. You've already done enough hours of stuff that they say, hey, this qualifies as a flight review. Not only that, according to FAA's research, now that the Wings program has been in place for, I forget how many years, but quite a few, 15, 20 years. It's been around long enough so they have data, and they know that pilots who participate regularly in the Wings program, earn phases of Wings on a semi-regular basis, are safer, have fewer accidents, have fewer fatals than pilots who just go the normal flight review route. You will be a safer pilot and more knowledgeable pilot because of the knowledge activities if you participate in Wings, statistically speaking. Okay, so you complete a phase, so student pilots can participate. That will help in ways which will become clear. Any phase of Wings counts as a flight review for anyone that's already certificated and has to satisfy the flight review requirement every 24 months. And so here's what you got to do. C, training requirements. Pilots earn a phase of Wings by doing 2 things, which is 6 things. 2 times 3. So let me see what it says here. Each time a pilot successfully completes, well, it's not on this page, so let me spill the beans. C, training requirements. Pilots earn a phase of Wings by successfully accomplishing a specified number of knowledge and flight tasks. 3 knowledge tasks and 3 flight tasks. That's why I said it's 2 things, but each one has 3, so it's 6 things, 2 times 3. 3 knowledge tasks and 3 flight tasks. Each time the pilot successfully completes a phase of Wings, so here are the parameters. Pilots must complete all of the required 6 things, the 2 times 3, within a 12-month period, by which they mean 12 calendar months. Right now it's December. This webinar will last you till December 31st of next year. So you have that much time to get another webinar or course done and another one and 1, 2, 3 flight activities. Whenever all that hits, as long as it's on or before December 31st, 2021, boom, you just earned yourself a flight review. So that's a flight review. The flight review is then good for the usual time, which is 24 calendar months. The phase of wings expires after 12 calendar months. That's only mildly meaningful when the phase expires, because you can get a new phase anytime. You don't have to wait for the one to expire. So I'm not sure that the specific phase of wings has that much meaning. The point is, if you get it all done within 12 calendar months, you earn a flight review, and now you've got 24 calendar months to go ahead and do all this stuff again for your next flight review equivalent. And you literally never have to have another flight review as long as you fly and as long as you do phases of wings. Okay, hope that's clear. It's all on AC 6191. All right, page 3 has a bunch more detail. Page 4 has more detail. Page 5 is the fun part for instructors. In addition to having the same flight review requirement as all pilots, we instructors also have to renew our flight instructor certificate every 24 calendar months. And that's unrelated to the flight review, so there could be completely different times. My flight review is not good till August 2 years from now. My CFI expires September of next year, so they're completely disconnected. They just both happen to be 24 calendar month clocks. So instructors, page 5 of the advisory circular, instructor information. We strongly encourage instructors to earn a phase of wings themselves. However, there is no requirement for instructors to hold a current phase of wings to provide wings qualified instruction. You may have never attended a webinar or done a wings related flight activity. You got no phases of wings. You got nothing except your CFI and a bunch of students. You can still give wings credit for flight activities. Doesn't matter that you've never done a single wings thing yourself. We encourage it. You'll get all the benefits of it that we mentioned earlier. It'll knock out your flight review, which you have to have also. But yeah, so there's no, people ask all the time, don't you have to have certain qualifications as an instructor to do this? No. It could be day one of your still wet temporary flight instructor certificate, and you can start giving wings credit flights to people. Now, instructors are eligible to renew their flight instructor certificate through participation in wings. You don't have to do another FIRC, Flight Instructor Refresher Clinic, excuse me. So here's how you do it. As long as your current certificate is not yet expired. So number 1, hold a flight instructor certificate that has not expired. Number 2, so remember I said you don't have to have a phase of wings to give wings credit, but you have to have a phase of wings if you want to use this system towards your flight instructor renewal. 2 separate things. So number 2, hold a current phase of wings at any level at the time of application for your flight instructor renewal. Number 3, here's the one that takes some keeping track of. You need to have evaluated at least 15 wings accredited flight activities at any level, during which you evaluate that across at least 5 different pilots. You can't do one pilot, 15 things. You got to do, at a minimum, 5 pilots, 3 things each, 3 flight activities each. There's your 15 by 5. So just think 15 by 5, 15 total wings activities that the pilot does that you give credit for through the system. And as long as that's at least 5 pilots, you're in. So evaluated at least 15 wings accredited flight activities, during which the instructor evaluates at least 5 different pilots and make appropriate endorsements in the logbook for each activity. Okay, so you've got a current flight instructor certificate, you got a current phase of wings, and you do 15 by 5 activities, 15 flight activities with at least 5 different pilots. Take all that to your FSDO, basically, to an aviation safety inspector at your local FSDO, showing that you've done all of that within the preceding 24 calendar months, before the month of your renewal. And an 8710-1 or IACRA, they prefer IACRA, of course. So get all that to your FSDO in time, give them a few weeks before your instructor certificate expires, because everybody's backed up. And boom, you got rid of your FIRC. You just renewed your flight instructor certificate by, guess what? Getting paid to do flight activities with pilots. You got paid to renew your flight instructor certificate instead of paying for a FIRC, even if it's the one-time $100 payment, and then you got to sit there for hours and hours. It's good education. I'm not knocking it, but this is a way to do it. Get paid for it, help other pilots become safer, give them all these benefits, and help them with their flight reviews by just doing wings activities. And at the same time, help yourself by what we just talked about. Pretty cool, huh? All right, those are the benefits. So now let's make it simple enough that we can actually do it. All right, page 6 of the advisory circular. I didn't, when you go there, I want you to read this, because when you do a wings activity with someone, you can do the normal logbook entry, and then you give them credit through FAAsafety.gov. And then they're suggesting that you also, in their logbook, you put this certification. So basically, I certify that that particular pilot has satisfactorily demonstrated the proficiency in the required tasks per the specific activity number. In other words, double validate it, so to speak. They make it really look like it's real. This really happened. It's in their logbook. It's validated not just as the flight with dual, but as you certifying that it satisfied a specific wings activity, and you gave them credit through the system. That's fully robust. Nobody can take that away from either you or the other pilot, and that's rock solid. So it's only 6 pages, AC 6191. So that's worth taking a look at, and that's what's in there. Good stuff. Now, I'm going to guess that you have non-owner insurance, well, any insurance. If you're an owner of an aircraft, congratulations. If not, congratulations. Oh my God. And some companies, in this particular case of EMCO, I'm not recommending them, I'm not recommending against them. I'm just stating a fact. They'll give you credit towards your premium or off your premium if you participate in wings. So right here, it's actually ridiculously simple under how it works. You can save 5% by completing any FAA Wings Pilot Proficiency Program knowledge course. All you got to do is take one knowledge course. That's not even a phase of wings. Just go in the system, or just be here. You're here. You just earned 5% if you're an EMCO insured. I don't know what other insurance companies do this. I just happen to know about EMCO. That's, again, not recommending either way, just stating a fact. So you're here. This is a knowledge activity. You just earned 5%, which on a $1,000 policy, that's $50. You're welcome. Buy me a cup of coffee. I'll show you how later. And then you can save an additional 5%, total of 10%, by participating in what they call a VEMCO recognized flight training, which if you dig into it, you just have to do a few flight activities, I think 2 hours, which if you just do 2 flight activities towards your wings and then tell a VEMCO about it, you got 5%, 10% off your premium. Buy me 2 cups of coffee. Okay, hope that makes sense. All right, so if you're just getting started, you've never seen like what the heck is FAAsafety.gov, this is it. You all know how to create logins to different websites. So this one's just as straightforward as anything else. So you'll start here, stick in your email address, and you don't even have to have a current airman certificate. In other words, you could be a student pilot, but you haven't got your student pilot certificate yet, or you're just thinking about it, you're not even a student yet. Fine, you can still get announced, you can still be in the system, and you'll get announcements if you sign up for announcements about upcoming webinars and seminars someday when we get to do seminars again. So get yourself signed up, then you do a little dance with the password and such, and then so if you checked yes, I do have a pilot certificate, you put your pilot certificate number in here, and then it will hook you up so that when you get wings credit and get a wings phase and you get your flight review out of it or something like that, it's already matched up. And I'll show you my recent certificates in a moment where I renewed my flight review just by doing wings things. Pretty fun. So anyway, that's how to get started, just basically like any website. All right, so let me take a break here for a quick second. For one thing, I got a question. Are those Avemco flight training tasks in wings? So what I would like you to do is check with, Gabriel asked the question, are those Avemco flight training tasks in wings? Can we do it with our CFI? Yes, you can do it with any flight instructor. And I don't want to speak for Avemco, so please check on their website or call them up and get the specifics on that if you would. I don't want to steer you wrong. I think the answer is yes, and it's all very simple, but please check with them. So one thing I'm going to do is get rid of this virtual background because it's all jittery. So here you go. Just have my boring green screen. Okay, what I want to do is, first of all, what I just promised, which is to show you this as soon as I get this Zoom golly going along. Okay, so I earned, so first of all, I had wings phases way back in the old system when nobody knew what a computer was. And, but once they converted to the newer online system, that all went away. So I started over, no problem. So I got basic phase 1. Down here it says basic pilot since 2/2/2020. So back in February, I completed the 6th of the 6 activities. I do plenty of seminars and webinars, both as attendee and as presenter. So I had gobs of knowledge activities. And I thought, I've been doing enough flying with instructors. I'm like, hey, will you sign this for me? Will you sign this? Will you give me wings credit? Great, boom. February 2nd, this popped out because I had all the stuff in there for the 3 flight activities in addition to a gazillion knowledge activities. So here it is. Phil Parse-Mandel demonstrated blah, 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 basic phase 1. Well, then what happens? There's 2 pages to this PDF. So down here, I'll show you this one, which is just if I feel like cutting that out, putting it in my logbook, I don't have to, but it's cute. But more important, looky here, flight review. This certifies that Philip Mandel has met the requirements, blah, blah, blah. This certification is valid for 24 calendar months from the completion date shown below, which is the same February 20th. So I'm good on this certificate by simply completing this phase of wings and getting insurance discount and completing a flight review. I'm good till 2022. February 20, whatever the last day of February is in 2022. So anyway, so I kept flying and I get checkouts in aircraft and stuff like that. And I've flown in the RV-12 at Twin Oaks. I got a few flights in that, which is an incredible airplane. So everything just sort of came together. And so essentially for free, because I was flying anyway and getting instructed in this and that, I got an instrument, did some instrument flying so I could practice my instrument stuff. I took a double I, right? So I said, hey, would you sign my wings credit for that? As long as you're signing my logbook. Sure. So everything lined up. And in August of the same year, I completed another phase. You do not have to wait 24 months to say, well, I got, my flight review is this long, I'm going to wait. Fine. You can do that. Or you can just take every opportunity that you're getting instruction and piling up flight activities and knowledge activities and just go, boom, I just completed another phase. So it still says basic pilot since 2/2/2020. That obviously doesn't change, but the date of completion of this set of activities is August, 6 months later. So what happens? So I got the little certificate that says, hey, look what this guy did. He got basic phase 2 in August, and boom, I renewed my flight certificate again. My flight review. Pretty cool. So you're taking training anyway, so just get the stuff logged correctly, and bingo, you've got flight reviews and phases piled up on top of each other. So this is even less widely known than how Wings works, and it's a sweepstakes. Every time you complete a phase of Wings, tell them, go to this website, mywingsinitiative.org, and log it in here. There's a way to enter that you've done that. And they give away $10,000 thanks to Paul and Fran Berger, yeah. So you can read why they do this and so on. And it's a wonderful bonus. And you can be entered to in this $10,000 sweepstakes, in which they're giving away 4 $1,500 prizes, 4 750s, and 2 500s. So you can win a pretty good cash prize just by completing a phase of Wings for all the benefits we already talked about, and have a chance to one of these groovy prizes. So that's earning a phase of Wings. If you're an instructor, get out of town, because CFI validation, excuse me. Oh, that's where, hang on, I'll get there. Oh man. Oh, it's going to take me longer than I want to get there. But for flight instructors, basically, whenever you help a pilot complete their phase, in other words, you do the 3rd flight activity with them, you get an extra entry just by helping a pilot do complete their phase of Wings. So the pilot gets an entry, you get an extra entry, and oh my gosh, why not win some money? All right, so now we're going to watch this little video because we've got Jeff Skiles and Sully Sullenberger, and let's check it out.
Hello, my name is Jeff Skiles, and I'm here with Captain Sully Sullenberger to welcome you to Soaring with Wings, presented by Catherine Cavanero, the 2018 National Fast Team Representative of the Year. We know from experience the vital importance of proficiency training in aviation. The benefit of the training we received saved many lives. This video is made possible in partnership with the FAA Safety Team, the AOPA Air Safety Institute, the Society of Aviation and Flight Educators, the National Association of Flight Instructors, and EAA. I hope you enjoy this informative session.
Welcome. My name is Catherine Cavanero, and as the
So here, excuse me, an example. This literally happened yesterday with my instrument student. We're plugging along. We've had 6 or 7 instrument flights so far. And he said, by the way, my flight review expires this month, and I would like to do a flight review with you. Aside from the instrument training. And I said, wow, we can do that. Or, so I said, you know what, we're already doing a ton of stuff, much of which will apply to Wings credit. And if we just take the stuff we're doing and find Wings activities, flight activities that fit, you'll have your flight review without us having to do anything except keep doing what we're doing. And so here's what happened. So I helped him on his iPad find, for example, this particular flight activity right here. And it says under name, I know it's kind of small and you may be on a small device, so I'll read some of it. So this is for ASCL, airplane single engine land. Slow flight, stall, spins, upset, basic instruments. So on his iPad, I helped him request validation for that activity that we've already done, because I did some VFR flying with him initially to familiarize him with the airport and the area. And then we jumped into instrument flying. So we did slow flights, stalls. We did a long and arduous simulator session yesterday, and I turned his brain into mush. So that's what instrument flying is like, especially partial panel. So anyway, we've done all these activities over multiple flights. So that's one point I want to make. A wings flight activity doesn't have to be like cram all this into one flight. As long as you and your instructor get this done and this done and this done, as soon as you've fulfilled the requirements for one of the flight activities, boom, have your instructor validate that. I certify sign off that I showed you earlier, do the credit in wings, which is what I'm showing you now, and boom, you just got a flight activity done. So it says here, it's 1 credit for basic flight topic 2, and it says, does a credit apply to Armando, the student? So further down here, I go down and it says accredited activity completion date, and I put the date in there, which was yesterday. And then there's a choice. I personally conducted this training, and the answer is either yes or no. It does not have to be yes. You could be an instructor inheriting a student, and you go out. The only thing that hasn't been done yet is, let's say, basic instruments of their recent activity. But you can see in their logbook that a previous instructor has done slow flight, stalls, et cetera, et cetera. You do not have to be the instructor who did all of that with them, unlike a flight review, where typically you are supposed to be the one instructor. So in this case, I'd done all the instructing with him, so I said yes to that. And then validation action, accept or reject, so I accepted it. I clicked submit, and then the thing popped back and said accredited activity validation, meaning I accredited it, and he received an email that says, you gotcha. Yeah, I got it. So that's what it looks like when a student does that. And so let me pop over to FAA safety and show you how to do that. Because that's the promise I made to you. I gotta get around Zoom here first, hang on. And boom, all right. There we go, FAA safety. So here you are, and you want to know what's in there, what's available. So first of all, the place to look once you're logged in is right here. It says activities, courses, seminars, and webinars in the upper left. I hope you can see where I'm kind of pulling it down and letting it go. There's activities, courses, seminars, webinars, and topic suggestions. So first, the easy one, which is seminars and webinars, because you can just sit back and do that online. And if you just say search, you'll get an infinite number of choices. And first of all, search only webinars, which is probably all there is anyway. So you can click on that over there. Unfortunately, you can't select a date range, which is kind of weird. Don't select a state unless you only want webinars that are originated in your state. I happen to know we already have someone here from Florida, and I'm in Oregon, so it doesn't matter where you are. But it can help if you maybe just put in a keyword and you only want to say, let's just say you want to webinars on weather. So I'll just put weather in here, show only webinars, click the search button, and boom. Let's see, we got 13 upcoming webinars because it says right here, results 1 to 13 of 13. So today, that you just missed because it was an hour ago, intro to weather briefings. Let's go, here we go. Tomorrow, 17th, there's a EAA the VMC, VFR, basically, Zoom meeting. On the 18th, best tips and tricks and sites for self-briefing, etc. So you can find webinars you're interested in, and if it's not weather, then search for something else. And there you can find seminars. And what you want to look for is you want to eventually accumulate knowledge topic 1, knowledge topic 2, and knowledge topic 3. So this particular one that unfortunately is in the past looks like it's an hour-and-a-half webinar, because just by logging into this one at the top here, Intro to Weather Briefings, if you were there instead of here, you would get 1 credit for advanced knowledge topic 1 and half credit for basic knowledge topic 3. So it sounds worse than it is. Again, if you want to just search for advanced knowledge topic 1, make sure you get one of those. Then search for, I beg your pardon, basic knowledge topic 1. I said that wrong. And then get a basic knowledge topic 2, get a basic knowledge topic 3. That's the 3 for whatever either your first or second or third phase of basic wings. So that's how to search for webinars, seminars and webinars. The courses are pretty cool. You also do that from the comfort of your own home. And so you just pull that down and go to courses. The courses are cool because they give you a bunch of information and you click through, and then eventually there's a quiz at the end, and it will help you. Most of them help you because they want you to get 100. It's like, you got an 80, here's what you got wrong, try this one again. And it's interactive like that, which is pretty cool. So view all available courses. I hope it doesn't take too long to spit them up here for me. There we go. Well, there are more choices than I want to go to. Let me go to my completed courses so I can show you the ones that I've done. Waiting for this. Okay, here we go. God, I did a lot of them. Okay, so there was a NAFI, National Association of Flight Instructors course regarding the PTS and ACS, practical test standards, and the revision to the airman certification standards. I took a course on multi-engine safety review. I did a runway safety simulator, instrument proficiency review guide, and so on. So, and here we are, because I'm in, let's go to, so go back to basics. So way back here in 2010, I did my first basic wings knowledge topic 1 course called Aeronautical Decision Making for the VFR Pilot. So I got a basic knowledge topic 1, and then I did a basic knowledge topic 2, and then another topic 2, and then a basic knowledge topic 3. So there's my 3 topics. So obviously this stuff from 2010 doesn't do me any good, because this stuff's only good for 12 calendar months. So obviously you're going to find something and do it, and then you're going to get today's date stamp on it. And now it's good for the next 12 calendar months. All right, so that's courses. Activities is where it gets juices, by which they mean flight activities. Well, in their language, it means seminars, whatever these check boxes are. So what we want to do is choose flight activities, and then you can get wings and AMT, or in other words, maintenance. So I would just check wings, because I'm just doing the flying part. And then wings level, you get to check basic, advanced, or master. So for example, if you just check basic, and then don't check knowledge because you're looking for flight activities. So let's just see what's available for flight activity, wings as opposed to maintenance, basic, flight 1. So basic flight topic 1, perform search. And let's just see what pops up. Okay, 180 possibilities pop up, and you could look at up to 50 at a time. And now this is going to be scary, because some of these have several hours that go with them, because it's a whole big training program. And then if you scroll down, you can get to some of the simpler ones. So let me simplify it for you, because it's too broad and you'll drive yourself crazy sorting through 180 activities. I'm going to assume that you are airplane single engine land people. So, so I just put ASEL in the keyword because they're all going to get defined in part by that means. So now I'm going to perform search. I'm still searching for basic flight 1 activities, but I'm just telling it to limit to airplane single engine land. 13. Now I only have to scroll through 13 different activities here to find something that I like. All right, so some of these are specialized. They're EAA courses of different kinds. But now I'm going to make this unbearably simple for you because I'm going to tell you what to choose. So I've been telling you the whole time how complicated this is. Now let me make it ridiculously simple. Well, since my eyes are failing me, so since I've already selected it, I'm just going to go straight to this where I've already got it. And let's see. So hopefully this is showing you the one that's 1 credit for basic flight topic 1. And it's called airplane single engine land, takeoffs, climbs, approaches, landings, go-arounds. And it's to whatever level the person is at, private, commercial, or ATP. Stand by, I got a question. Helicopters you can do, I haven't, but you can, if you do in that search box, in the keyword box, put helicopter, and it'll help you with that. So that's a good question. All right, so here's information for this particular topic, which is activity number A070405-07. Okay, great. So it's basic flight topic 1. And this gives you lots of stuff to read if you want to. But here's what I do. Go down to the bottom where it says, for this activity, bold areas of operation in the following ACS. So they extracted this from the ACS for private pilot airplane, are required for the wings credit, all the bold ones. Now watch this. Pre-flight procedures. Okay, what does that consist of in terms of the bold activities? Pre-flight assessment, so instructors just watch your student or your pilot pre-flight. Flight deck management, in other words, you sit in there, they plug in their headset, they figure out the seatbelt. I mean, we always do flight deck management, or they do. They start the engine, they taxi, and they do the before takeoff check. So every flight you do with a student or pilot, this happens. You may just need to watch the pre-flight because a lot of times we let the pilot or the student pre-flight once we know that they're good at it. So just watch the pre-flight and then everything else you're already doing. Okay, airport and seaplane based operations. So communications, light signals, and runway lighting systems. So communications, guess what? They're talking on the radio, either to Unicom, other traffic, ground tower, etc. All I got to do is at least talk about light signals, like what would happen if you got a red light here, if your comm was out, what would you do? And runway lighting systems, what color are taxiway lights compared to the runway, talk a little bit about runway lighting systems. Traffic patterns, if you're taking off, doing anything and coming back, you're doing something with traffic patterns. Well, my point is you're doing this anyway, along with just a few little extra goodies you might want to throw in, what you would need to throw in to validate the activity. You're already doing it. All right, takeoffs, landings, and go-arounds. So normal takeoff and climb. Ever do that with a pilot or a student? Normal approach and landing. How about that? Soft field takeoff and climb, soft field approach and landing, short field, short field. Then there's seaplane stuff, which I don't know anything about. It's fascinating, but I don't know anything about it. And then you need to do at least one go around. Okay, good idea to do them anyway. And when we're training students, we're doing go arounds for sure, because they're going to have to demonstrate it in the flight check, and everyone needs to know how to do go arounds. Then do some emergency operations, emergency descent, emergency, simulated engine failure kind of thing, systems and equipment, fail the flaps or something like that, etc. So a lot of this stuff you're doing anyway, especially if you're with a primary student. So this thing is almost automatic. So what happens then? So this would be, for example, from the student's point of view, and I would recommend to the instructors, have the student request it. In other words, my preference is to get the student familiar with the system so that they have facility with it. You know, I'm not going to be their instructor forever. Somebody's going to move. Somebody's going to, you know, who knows? So I want them to be able to do this and find knowledge activities and have fun with this thing. So have them find this. You can give them the exact number if you want. And then have them hit request credit. And it'll say, from whom do you want to request credit? So they put in your email address. You get the email I showed you earlier where it says someone has requested, you know, activity validation from you. You know, say I instructed them, or I did, you know, click the buttons and then say, and then validate the activity. Done. There's your flight topic 1 for that particular pilot or student. So flight topic 2. I picked one for you for flight topic 2. I want to make this crazy easy. So this one is airplane signal engine land, slow flight, stalls, spins, basic instruments, etc. You're doing this with student pilots anyway, not spins, but spin awareness. So read as much of what this as you want, but remember that the required activities are down here in bold. Slow flight and stalls. You ever do that with a student? I know the answer. Okay. Basic instrument maneuvers. Stick them under the hood, do straight and level flight, constant airspeed climbs, constant airspeed descents, turns to headings. Do you ever not do this with a student? Recovery from unusual attitudes, radio communications, and so on. And then multi-engine stuff if you're doing multi-engine. So you know, add a few things if you're doing multi. Okay, so all this stuff a lot of times happens automatically. If not, then this is a way to help a pilot who says, I want a flight review. You can say, hey, I have an idea. Let's get you really thorough, really current in multiple, you know, through multiple flights. Get you an insurance discount potentially if their insurer offers it. And by the way, all of this activity looks good if you have an accident or incident or airspace violation or anything else. And you have a conversation with FAA, which I had just a few months ago. I'm going to leave out the details, but I had a nice chat with a ASI, Aviation Safety Inspector, here at the Portland FSDO, and among other things, I and my attorney told him, look, I got a current phase of wings. In fact, I have 2 phases of wings on top of each other, 6 months apart, and that all that impresses them and say, okay, this person is always training and always learning. A mistake happened or something, downdraft happened, something happened, and there was an accident. So, okay, the person learned from it. They're in constant training because of the wings program. So, all right, good luck. You know, let us know if we can help you in the future. It's a good thing. All right, so there's your activity 1, which is takeoffs, landings, go-arounds. Activity 2, slow flight stalls, etc. Activity 3, air work, which they call performance, flight, and ground reference maneuver. This is like everything you teach a student. So, so go down here, and there's hardly anything bolded. So performance and ground reference maneuvers, pretty much the performance maneuver for privates is steep turns. That's right here. Ground reference maneuvers, you can do as many as you think are appropriate between the turns around a point, etc. And review those. Most people haven't done them since the birth of their student pilot certificate. So it's not a bad idea to review those things. And then emergency operations, emergency descent, emergency approach and landing. I picked them for you. So just do that. And if you're an instructor, do those 3 things with at least 5 different pilots, or including students. You already have 5 students, you're doing this stuff. Validate all that. You just got 15 activities across 5 different pilots. You just renewed your flight instructor certificate. You're welcome. Buy me a cup of coffee. Okay. All right, so let me jump around here. So here's my recent printout of just my unapplied credits, which simply means I attend so many webinars and seminars that I just got a bunch of stuff in the bank, basically. So if I want to go for another phase of wings, let's see, I have basic phase 1 and basic phase 2. So I'd look for stuff that would give me basic phase 3. And I just grab the stuff I've already done and apply those to the next phase and so on. And if I'm missing any, I'll just take another course or sit through another webinar and enjoy that, and then go do some flying. Okay, a couple of shout outs. So these are the Facebook pages I've mentioned a few times where they let me advertise this stuff. So Flights Above is a great organization. They have well-run Facebook pages. I encourage you to look at that. And then there are CFI discussion groups, student pilots and flight training, and general aviation safety is a good solid group. So so these are good Facebook groups. So anyway, if you feel I've earned a cup of coffee, I would certainly appreciate it. It's buymeacoffee.com/PhilM, P-H-I-L-M. Looks like you can buy 1, 3, or 5 for me. If you don't feel like it, don't. These are free webinars. So obviously no obligation. Don't text and fly. And I couldn't find a Santa picture fast enough, so we're stuck with the one that I did for Halloween. Anyway, so any questions or comments? There's my email address, phmand@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for being here, and happy holidays, happy New Year. Here's to a better 21. And stay away from viruses, fly safe, and get your wings credit. All right, thanks again. And again, feel free to email me with any questions, comments, anything at all. All right, thanks again. Happy holidays, happy New Year.